Hello, and welcome to Super English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with me today. In this episode, we're going to talk about something very special and important, not only for people learning English, but for anyone who wants to grow, improve, and live a better life. Our topic today is I am always a student, a mindset of lifelong learning and adaptability. That might sound simple, but it's a very powerful idea. It's about keeping a curious mind and always being ready to learn something new, no matter who you are or how old you are. What does I am always a student mean? When we hear the word student, we often think of a person sitting in a classroom, reading books, listening to teachers, and doing homework. But being a student is not only about school. It's not just about passing exams or getting grades. Being a student is about having the right attitude. It means being open, curious, and ready to learn from everything around you. When we say, I am always a student, we mean that learning never stops. Life itself becomes a school, and every experience becomes a lesson. Every success teaches you something, and every mistake teaches you even more. A student asks questions, listens carefully, tries new things, and keeps improving. That's what being a lifelong learner means. You never stop growing. Why is this mindset important? We live in a world that changes very fast. Technology grows, new jobs appear, and new ideas come to life every single day. The skills we had yesterday may not be enough tomorrow. If we stop learning, we may start to feel lost or left behind. But if we stay curious and open to learning, we can adapt to changes easily, solve problems better, and feel confident about the future. Learning doesn't stop when we finish school. It continues through our entire life. It helps us make better decisions, understand people, and open doors to new opportunities. Being a lifelong learner in English. For English learners, this mindset is extra important. Learning a language is not something you do once and finish. It's a journey that takes time, patience, and practice. Sometimes you will make mistakes. Sometimes you will feel stuck or frustrated. But that's okay. Every mistake is part of the learning process. When you think like a lifelong learner, you see mistakes not as failures, but as teachers. Every conversation you have in English, every new word you learn, and every time you listen carefully, all of it helps you grow. Step by step, you become more confident. Remember, being curious, trying new words, and listening carefully are powerful ways to improve your English and your life. Learning every day. Now, think about this. When was the last time you learned something new? Maybe it was yesterday, last week, or even today. Did you enjoy learning it? Or did it feel too difficult? Learning doesn't have to be hard or boring. It can be simple, fun, and part of your daily life. You can learn by reading a short article, listening to a podcast, watching a video, or just talking to someone new. Every day gives you a chance to learn something if you pay attention. Being a student of life. In school, learning is organized. You have a teacher, a schedule, a textbook, and exams. You know what you're supposed to learn, and there's a clear beginning and end. But in life, learning doesn't follow a plan. Life teaches you through experiences, through challenges, mistakes, and the people you meet. Being a student of life means looking at every situation as a lesson. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When something goes right, think, how did I achieve this, and how can I do it again? Every person you meet can teach you something. Every problem you face can help you grow stronger. I am always a student. The power of lifelong learning. It is not about grades or certificates. It is about growing as a person and understanding the world better. Learning doesn't stop when we leave school. In fact, we keep learning every single day, often without even realizing it. Think about it. When you learn how to use a new phone or computer app, you're learning. When you cook a new recipe, fix something at home, or find a new way to solve a problem at work, you are learning. Even small things like talking to someone from a different country or culture can teach you new words, new ideas, and new ways of thinking. Every day is full of lessons. The people who grow the most are the ones who notice those lessons and use them to become better. That's what it means to have a mindset of lifelong learning. Learning from mistakes. Another very important part of being a lifelong learner is learning from mistakes. When we make mistakes, it's easy to feel sad, embarrassed, or frustrated. But a real student doesn't stop there. A student looks at mistakes as teachers. When something goes wrong, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this? This simple question can change the way you see challenges. Instead of feeling defeated, you begin to grow stronger and wiser. Being a student of life isn't about being perfect. It's about being open, curious, and willing to try again and again. Even the most successful people in the world, famous leaders, artists, scientists, and entrepreneurs, say that they are still students. They read books, meet new people, explore new experiences, and never stop learning. They know that life is always changing, and to keep growing, they must keep learning and adapting. The good news is that anyone can do this. You don't need special skills, a lot of money, or extra time. You only need a curious mind and the willingness to learn something new every day. So, when you say, I am always a student, remember that it's more than just a phrase. It's a promise to yourself. A promise to stay curious, open, and ready to learn. It's about looking at life as a classroom and every single day as a chance to grow. Whether you are learning a new language, discovering a new skill, or exploring a new idea, being a student of life helps you become the best version of yourself. What does it mean to be a lifelong learner? When we talk about being a lifelong learner, we are talking about a simple but powerful idea. Always being a student. It means that no matter how old you are, and no matter how much experience you have, you are still open to learning new things every day. Being a lifelong learner doesn't mean going back to school or studying for exams. It means keeping a curious mind, asking questions, exploring new ideas, and trying new things. It's a way of thinking that keeps your mind active, your skills growing, and your life exciting. Lifelong learning is learning that never ends. It's not only for school or work, it's for your life. When we learn for life, we enjoy the process of discovering new things, understanding new ideas, and improving ourselves little by little. Simple ways to keep learning. Lifelong learning can be very simple. You don't need a classroom or a teacher, you just need curiosity. For example, learning a new language, like English, is a great form of lifelong learning. You practice new words, listen to others, and build your communication skills. Trying a new hobby, like cooking, drawing, coding, gardening, or playing a musical instrument, helps you learn in fun ways. Reading new things, a story, an article, or even a blog expands your knowledge and helps you see the world differently. The truth is, life itself is full of lessons. Every moment can teach us something new if we are paying attention. The benefits of lifelong learning. There are many benefits to being a lifelong learner. 1. It keeps your mind active. When you learn something new, your brain works in new ways. It helps you think creatively, solve problems, and remember things better. 2. It builds confidence. Every time you learn a new skill or understand something you didn't know before, you feel proud of yourself. This confidence can help you in many parts of life, whether it's in school, work, or relationships. 3. It helps you grow personally and professionally. When you keep learning, you become more adaptable. You can face changes at work, connect with new people, and handle challenges with calm and confidence. 4. It makes life more interesting. Learning keeps life exciting. You never stop discovering new things about yourself and the world around you. Lifelong learning. Growing every day. Learning new skills can open many doors in your life. It can help you succeed in your job, discover new opportunities, or even find a career you love. Learning about people, cultures, or communication can also help you build better relationships with your friends, your family, and your coworkers. But remember this, learning is not just for school. It is for life. Many people believe that once they finish school or college, their learning is over. But that's not true at all. In fact, life itself is the greatest school, and every day is a new classroom. You can learn from your experiences, from the conversations you have, from the mistakes you make, and from your successes. Every situation, good or bad, teaches you something new. Seeing life as a classroom. When you adopt the mindset of a lifelong learner, you start to see the world differently. You realize that every challenge or problem is not something to fear, but an opportunity to grow. Let's look at some simple examples. Imagine you start learning English. Every new word you learn, every sentence you practice, and every conversation you have is part of your lifelong learning journey. Imagine you decide to cook a new recipe. You read the instructions, you try new ingredients, and maybe you make a few mistakes. But each step teaches you something new. Or imagine you are learning to use a new phone app or trying to understand how a new machine works. That too is learning. The key is simple: stay curious and open. Don't be afraid to try, explore, or ask questions. Reflecting on your learning. Now, I want you to take a short moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what is something new I learned recently? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe you learned a new English word, found a faster way to solve a problem, or discovered a new recipe. Think about how it made you feel. Did it make you feel proud? Happy? Curious to learn even more? Now ask yourself another question. What is one thing I want to learn this week? It could be anything: learning a new song, trying a new recipe, or practicing a new English sentence every day. These small reflections help you notice your learning, and they motivate you to keep going. The spirit of a lifelong learner. Remember, lifelong learning is not about being perfect or knowing everything. It's about being curious, open, and willing to learn from life itself. It's about enjoying the journey, not just focusing on the result. Every day brings you a new chance to learn, grow, and become better. So keep asking questions. Keep trying new things. Keep reading, practicing, and reflecting. This mindset will help you not only in your English learning journey, but also in every area of your life. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I am always a student. Every new word, every new skill, and every new experience is a lesson. With this mindset, your mind stays active, your confidence grows, and your life becomes richer and more meaningful. Learning never stops, and the journey of a lifelong learner is one of the most exciting adventures you can have. Why lifelong learning is important. We live in a world that changes very fast. Every day brings new technologies, new ideas, and new ways of doing things. What felt modern yesterday may seem old today. Think about phones, computers, or social media. 10 years ago, many of the apps and websites we use today didn't even exist. Jobs also change. Some disappear, and new ones are created. The way people work, communicate, and even learn has completely transformed. In such a fast-changing world, it's important to keep learning. Lifelong learning helps you stay up to date, flexible, and ready for new opportunities. But learning is not only about knowledge. It's about growth, both personal and professional. The power of growth. When you learn new skills or ideas, you grow as a person. You understand yourself and the world better. Learning teaches you new ways to solve problems, improve your relationships, and take care of your health and your mind. It also helps you feel more confident and independent. You no longer wait for someone else to teach you. You learn because you want to, because you enjoy growing. And when you grow, you inspire others to grow too. The power of lifelong learning in work and life. Professionally, learning plays a very important role in our careers. In today's world, companies are not only looking for people with degrees, they want people who can adapt, solve problems, and learn new skills quickly. If we stop learning, it becomes harder to keep up with all the changes happening around us. But if we continue to learn, we can improve our work, find new opportunities, and feel more confident in our abilities. Every skill you learn becomes a tool that helps you move forward. The more you learn, the stronger and more capable you become. Learning builds adaptability. One of the greatest benefits of lifelong learning is adaptability. Adaptability means being able to adjust to changes in life, work, or the world around you. Think about this example. Imagine your company introduces a new computer system or software. If you are open to learning, you can explore it, understand how it works, and use it successfully. But if you resist learning or think you already know enough, you might feel stressed, confused, or left behind. Learning helps us stay flexible, open-minded, and ready for any challenge. That's why adaptability is one of the most important skills today. The world moves fast, and those who can adapt have more confidence, more opportunities, and more success. Learning builds confidence. Learning also gives us something very powerful, confidence. When you learn new things, try new skills, or understand new ideas, you start to believe in yourself. You begin to see that you are capable of more than you thought. Confidence grows when we face challenges and realize that we can overcome them. For example, when you learn to use a new app on your phone, you feel capable. When you learn a new skill at work, like writing reports or managing a project, you feel proud. When you practice English and can finally speak with others more easily, you feel confident and happy. Each small achievement builds your confidence and encourages you to keep going. Little by little, you become more open to new challenges, and learning becomes something exciting, not scary. Simple examples of lifelong learning. Let's look at some real, relatable examples. Imagine you are learning English online. Every new word you learn, every sentence you practice, and every conversation you have helps you grow. You're not only learning a language, you're learning how to communicate, understand people, and express yourself more clearly. Or maybe you decide to learn a new skill for work, something like coding, designing, or writing reports. These new abilities can help you perform better in your job and open doors for promotions or new career paths. Even small things count. Learning how to use a new app for shopping, online banking, or transportation is also a form of lifelong learning. Each new thing you learn makes modern life easier and helps you stay connected to the world. Learning about people and cultures. Another important part of lifelong learning is understanding people and cultures. We live in a time where the world is more connected than ever before. Through the internet and social media, we can meet people from almost anywhere. Learning about different cultures, ideas, and ways of thinking helps us become more open-minded and understanding. It teaches us how to respect differences, work better with others, and communicate with kindness and empathy. Lifelong learning is not only about gaining skills, it's also about growing as a person. staying curious and open. Finally, lifelong learning is about staying curious and open to change. The world will never stop changing. New technologies, new ideas, and new challenges will always appear. The faster we learn, the easier it becomes to adapt and succeed. Every single day gives us new chances to learn something, even small things. When we keep learning, we become more flexible, stronger, and more confident. And the best part? Learning doesn't have to be hard or boring. It can be simple, fun, and a natural part of your daily life. You can learn by reading an article, listening to a podcast, watching a short video, or simply talking to someone new. Each little step adds up. Every new skill, every new idea, and every new experience is a step toward a better version of yourself. The power of adaptability. Adaptability is a simple but very powerful idea. In simple English, adaptability means being able to adjust to new situations, changes, or challenges in life. It is the ability to change the way you think or act when things around you are different from what you expected. Life is full of surprises. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's completely normal. When we are adaptable, we can stay calm, positive, and ready to face those changes with confidence. Adaptability is one of the most important life skills we can have because the world never stops changing. Jobs, technology, culture, and even daily life are always evolving. If we are not adaptable, it's easy to feel stressed, worried, or left behind. But if we can adjust and learn new ways of doing things, we can turn challenges into opportunities. Why adaptability matters. People who are adaptable are often more successful, confident, and happy. They don't panic when something changes. Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this?" They find solutions, learn new skills, and grow stronger from every experience. Let's look at a few simple examples. Changing jobs. Imagine you start a new job. The work, rules, and tools might be very different from what you're used to. If you're adaptable, you can quickly learn new tasks, meet new colleagues, and feel comfortable in the new environment. Moving to a new country. Everything might feel strange: the language, the culture, the food, or even the daily routine. Adaptable people take time to observe, learn, and try new things. They slowly feel comfortable and start to enjoy the experience instead of feeling stressed. Learning English online. When you study online, you often use new apps, meet new teachers, and try new lessons. If you're adaptable, you don't feel frustrated, you enjoy the process. You try, practice, and improve faster because you're open to learning in new ways. The connection between learning and adaptability. The link between learning and adaptability is very strong. The more we learn, the more adaptable we become. Learning teaches us how to handle new information, solve problems, and understand different ideas. Every new skill or lesson we practice helps us face changes with more confidence. For example, when you learn to use a computer, a smartphone, or a new online platform, you can easily adapt to new technology. When you practice English, you learn to communicate better in new situations and with new people. Learning makes us flexible, open-minded, and ready for anything life brings. Adaptability and positivity. Adaptability also helps us stay positive and reduce fear. When life changes suddenly, it's normal to feel nervous or unsure. But if we know that we can learn, try, and adjust, change becomes less scary. We begin to see challenges not as problems, but as chances to grow and discover something new about ourselves. In this way, adaptability is not just about surviving change. It's about using change to become stronger, smarter, and more confident. Everyone can be adaptable. The best thing about adaptability is that it's a skill anyone can develop. You don't have to be naturally brave or smart. You just have to stay curious, keep learning, and stay open to new experiences. Every new challenge or opportunity is a chance to grow. And the more adaptable you become, the easier it is to keep learning, improving, and enjoying life, no matter how much it changes. Moving forward, building a lifelong learning mindset. So now that we understand the power of adaptability, the next step is to learn how to build a lifelong learning mindset. How can we train ourselves to keep learning every day? How can we make learning a natural and enjoyable part of life? How to build a lifelong learning mindset. Building a lifelong learning mindset means training your mind to enjoy learning and growing every day. It doesn't happen overnight, but with small, consistent actions, anyone can develop it. 1. Be curious and ask questions. Curiosity is the engine of learning. When you are curious, you see the world differently. You notice details, ask why or how, and try to understand things better. For example, if you see someone using a new phone app, instead of ignoring it, ask, "How does this work? Can I try it too?" Small questions like these open the door to learning new skills. Curiosity keeps your mind active and helps you see every experience as a chance to learn. 2. Read or listen to something new every day. Learning doesn't have to come only from books. You can listen to a podcast, watch a short educational video, read an article, or follow an English blog. The key is to expose yourself to new ideas regularly. Even 5 or 10 minutes of learning every day adds up over time. Slowly, you'll notice your knowledge, vocabulary, and understanding of the world expanding. This daily habit is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to build a lifelong learning mindset. 3. Learn from people around you. Everyone you meet can teach you something. Family, friends, teachers, coworkers, even strangers can be your teachers if you pay attention. Listen carefully, ask questions, and observe how others solve problems or deal with challenges. A coworker might show you a faster way to complete a task. A friend might teach you a new English phrase. A child might remind you how to stay curious. Life is full of teachers, and every person has a lesson to share if you are open to it. 4. Learn from mistakes. Many people fear mistakes and try to avoid them. But mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. When you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? This simple reflection turns every mistake into a valuable learning experience. Even successful people make mistakes every day. What makes them successful is that they learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. 5. Try new things without fear. Lifelong learners are not afraid to step outside their comfort zones. Trying something new might feel uncomfortable at first, but every time you try, you grow. You could learn a new recipe, join an online English conversation group, explore a new hobby. Each new experience builds your skills, confidence, and curiosity. Life becomes more exciting when you are open to new experiences. 6. Spend time with inspiring people. Surround yourself with people who motivate and inspire you. When you're around curious, positive, and knowledgeable people, their energy rubs off on you. They encourage you to ask questions, try new things, and keep improving. Learning then feels fun and natural, not like a task or obligation. 7. Take small, consistent steps. Lifelong learning isn't only about big achievements or big goals. It's about small actions done every day. Reading for a few minutes, practicing English, listening to a new idea, or reflecting on your mistakes, all these count as learning. The key is consistency. Each small step adds up over time, helping you grow into a confident and adaptable lifelong learner. 8. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You don't need to know everything, and you don't need to be perfect. The goal of lifelong learning is not perfection, it's progress. Stay curious. Keep learning. Enjoy the process. Every new idea, skill, or experience you gain is a step toward a more confident, capable, and fulfilled version of yourself. Challenges and how to overcome them. Even when we truly want to be lifelong learners, challenges can appear along the way. These challenges are normal. Everyone faces them at some point. The good news is that all of them can be overcome with the right mindset and small, consistent actions. 1. Not having enough time. One of the most common challenges people face is not having enough time. Many people feel too busy with work, school, family, or daily responsibilities. It can seem difficult to find time to learn something new. But here's the truth: learning doesn't need to take hours every day. Even 5 to 10 minutes of learning can make a big difference over time. The key is to use small moments wisely. For example, listen to a short podcast while you travel to work. Read a short English article during lunch or before bed. Watch an educational video while waiting in line. Practice new words for a few minutes each day. When you add these small moments together, they create big results. Learning in short, consistent steps is much better than doing nothing at all. Remember, every small effort counts. 2. Fear of failure. Another common challenge is the fear of failure. Many people are afraid to try something new because they think they might make mistakes or fail. But mistakes are a natural and necessary part of learning. Every mistake is an opportunity to understand something better and to grow. For example, if you try to speak English and say the wrong word, it's not a failure, it's a lesson. Next time, you'll know the correct word and speak more confidently. Try to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "It's okay to make mistakes. I'm learning." This positive attitude turns fear into motivation. It gives you courage to keep going and try again, even when things are difficult. 3. Thinking you are too old to learn. Some people believe, "I'm too old to learn," or "It's too late to start something new." This is a very common thought, but it's not true. Learning is possible at any age. The human brain can grow, change, and adapt throughout life. In fact, learning keeps the brain healthy, active, and young. There are many inspiring stories of people who learned new languages, started new careers, or developed new hobbies later in life. For example, some people learn to play the piano at 60, start painting at 70, or learn English at 80. What matters most is not age, it is curiosity, patience, and consistency. You are never too old to learn something new. 4. Distractions. Distractions are another big challenge for lifelong learners. In today's world, our attention is pulled in many directions: phones, social media, TV, and daily noise. Sometimes it's easy to lose focus or forget our learning goals. To overcome this, it helps to create a simple daily routine. For example, set a fixed time to learn, maybe 10 to 15 minutes every day. Choose a quiet place without your phone or TV. Focus on one small goal each day, such as learning 5 new words or finishing one short article. Consistency is more important than speed or perfection. Even short, focused study sessions can create strong habits that last. Remember, small daily actions lead to big results over time. 5. Losing motivation. Another challenge many people face is losing motivation. When we start learning something new, we often feel very excited at first. But after a few days or weeks, we might feel tired, bored, or unmotivated. This is completely normal. It happens to everyone. The key is to find ways to stay inspired. Here are some simple tips. Set small goals. Instead of trying to learn everything, focus on one small goal at a time. For example, I will learn 10 new words this week. Celebrate progress. Even small improvements are important. Reward yourself for trying and for growing. Make learning fun. Watch videos, listen to music, or play games in English. Enjoy the process. Learn with others. Join an online group, take a class, or practice with a friend. Sharing your progress keeps you motivated. Remember your why. Think about why you started learning, maybe to improve your job, travel, or communicate better. Keeping your goal in mind helps you continue. When you lose motivation, don't give up. Just take a small step forward. Sometimes, doing even a little will help you feel active again. 6. Expecting quick results. One more challenge is expecting fast results. Many people want to learn quickly and get disappointed when progress feels slow. But learning is a journey, not a race. It takes time, patience, and practice to grow. Instead of focusing on how far you still have to go, look at how much you've already learned. Celebrate small victories. You learned a new word, great. You understood a sentence, wonderful. You practiced for 10 minutes, that's progress. Every small success is a step toward your goal. Keep going and you'll see results over time. Lifelong learning in daily life. Many people think that learning happens only in school, but that is not true. Learning can happen anywhere and anytime. It can happen at home, at work, on the bus, or even while talking with a friend. Lifelong learning means noticing opportunities to learn wherever we are. It is about making learning a natural habit, not just something you do for tests or exams. Every day gives us a chance to discover something new, improve our skills, or grow as a person. The key is to stay curious and open to learning in small, simple ways. 1. Learning through listening. Listening is one of the easiest ways to learn every day. You can learn a lot just by listening carefully to things around you, people, podcasts, or audio lessons. For example, listen to a short English podcast while traveling, walking, or cooking. Watch a YouTube video about a topic you enjoy, like culture, technology, or cooking. Listen to audiobooks or songs in English and try to understand new words or expressions. Even a few minutes of listening each day adds up over time. Listening regularly helps you improve your pronunciation and understanding of sounds, discover new topics and ideas, and stay curious about the world. Learning through listening is powerful because it fits easily into your daily life. You don't need extra time, you just need a bit of curiosity. 2. Learning through reading. Reading is another simple and effective way to learn something new every day. And it doesn't have to be long or difficult. You can read short materials like articles or blogs, news stories, short storybooks, social media posts in English, or even English subtitles while watching a show. Reading helps you in many ways. It builds your vocabulary, teaches you new expressions, and improves your grammar and thinking. If reading in English feels hard, you can start with your favorite topics, things that make you excited, such as travel, food, or science. Remember, reading a little every day is better than reading a lot once in a while. Even 5 minutes of reading daily can grow into a strong learning habit that lasts a lifetime. 3. Learning through conversations. Talking to other people is one of the most natural and powerful ways to learn. Every conversation gives you a new perspective. You can learn from your family, friends, coworkers, or even strangers. For English learners, speaking practice is especially helpful. When you talk to native speakers or other learners, you not only practice English, but also build confidence and connection. For example, ask a coworker about how they do a task. You might learn a faster or smarter way. Join an online English group and talk about daily topics. Share your thoughts with a friend from another country. You will learn about different cultures and ideas. Conversations help you practice listening, speaking, and thinking at the same time. Even a short chat can teach you something new and make you feel more confident. 4. Learning through writing and journaling. Writing is another great daily learning tool. When you write, you organize your thoughts, reflect on what you've learned, and remember it better. You don't need to write long essays. Simple things work best, such as writing a few sentences about your day, making a list of new English words, writing a short paragraph about something you learned or enjoyed, or keeping a small learning journal. For example, every night you can write, "Today I learned 3 new English words: courage, patience, and focus. I heard them in a podcast about personal growth." Writing like this helps you track your progress and see how much you've grown. It also improves your memory and makes learning more personal and meaningful. 5. Learning through observation. Sometimes, the best learning happens when you simply observe what's happening around you. Watch how people solve problems, how they communicate, or how things work. For example, at work, notice how someone uses a computer program. You might learn a faster method. At home, watch how your parents or friends fix something or cook a new dish. In public, observe how people from different cultures greet each other or behave in different situations. Observation teaches you quietly and naturally. It helps you understand the world better without needing a classroom. 6. Learning through doing. Finally, one of the most powerful ways to learn is by doing. When you take action, you turn knowledge into real skills. For example, try cooking a new recipe instead of just reading it. Practice speaking English instead of only memorizing grammar. Experiment with a new app or computer program instead of watching a tutorial. The more you try, the more confident and capable you become. Learning by doing helps you grow faster because you learn from real experience, not just from theory. Lifelong learning, a daily journey. Journaling is a great way to improve your English writing skills and organize your thoughts. Writing just a few sentences a day can make a big difference over time. When you write about your experiences, you reflect, understand your mistakes, and plan how to improve. Reflection helps you grow and become more aware of your learning journey. Learning every day does not always need to be formal or academic. Trying new activities, hobbies, or skills is learning too. For example, cooking a new recipe, learning to draw, practicing a musical instrument, or exploring a new app. All of these are forms of learning. Every small action helps you grow and builds confidence. The key is to make learning part of your daily routine. It's not about doing something big every day. It's about taking small, consistent steps. A few minutes of reading, listening, speaking, or writing can slowly change your life. Over time, these small habits turn into big progress. When you make learning a daily habit, lifelong learning becomes natural and enjoyable. Daily learning for English learners. For English learners, daily learning is especially important. You can practice listening by watching short videos or listening to podcasts. You can improve reading by exploring simple articles or stories. You can practice speaking by talking to friends or language partners. You can improve writing by journaling or sending short messages in English. Each small effort helps you improve your English while also teaching you new ideas about life, culture, and communication. These daily habits not only make your English better, but they also help you become more confident, open-minded, and adaptable. Small, regular steps create big, long-term progress in both language learning and personal growth. In short, lifelong learning is not limited to school or classrooms. It is about noticing opportunities, taking small steps, and learning every single day. The power of small habits. Every day gives you chances to learn, grow, and improve. By listening, reading, speaking, writing, or trying new activities, you make learning a natural and enjoyable part of life. Small daily habits can build a big future filled with knowledge, confidence, and adaptability. Lifelong learning is a choice, a habit, and a mindset, and everyone can develop it. It starts with one small action, one curious question, and one new idea at a time. Final reflection. As we come to the end of this episode, let's take a moment to remember the key points we discussed today. We started with the idea of I am always a student. Being a student is not just about going to school or taking classes. It's about having a mindset of curiosity, growth, and openness to learning throughout your life. No matter your age or background, you can always learn something new, and that's what makes life exciting and meaningful. We also talked about the importance of lifelong learning. The world around us is constantly changing. Technology, jobs, culture, and daily life are evolving faster than ever. By keeping a learning mindset, we can adapt to these changes, stay confident, and continue to grow both personally and professionally. Learning keeps our minds active, improves our skills, and gives us the tools to face challenges with courage and flexibility. Lifelong learning is not just a task, it's a way of living. It's a habit that brings joy, confidence, and continuous growth. The link between learning and adaptability. We also explored the idea of adaptability, which is closely connected to learning. Adaptability means being able to adjust to new situations, challenges, and changes. When we learn new things, we become more flexible and ready for change. For example, learning to use new technology, speaking English with new people, or trying a new hobby helps us handle life's changes more easily. Adaptable people stay calm, open-minded, and positive even when things don't go as planned. Learning and adaptability work together. The more we learn, the easier it becomes to adapt, and the more we adapt, the easier it becomes to learn. Keep learning, stay curious, and grow every day. Being adaptable helps us face new experiences with confidence instead of fear. When we learn something new, we become stronger and more flexible in how we think and act. Every new skill, idea, or challenge gives us a chance to grow and prepare for the future. Adaptability means being open to change, and learning is what makes that possible. The more we learn, the easier it becomes to adjust to new situations and handle life with courage. Another important idea we explored is how to build a lifelong learning mindset. This means training your mind to enjoy learning every day, not just when you are in school. We talked about simple habits that can help anyone become a lifelong learner. Being curious and asking questions, reading or listening to something new each day, learning from people around us, trying new things without fear, and reflecting on mistakes as lessons instead of failures. Small daily actions are very powerful. Even just 5 or 10 minutes of learning every day can make a big difference over time. You do not need to spend hours studying. What matters most is consistency. When you practice a little bit every day, your skills, knowledge, and confidence slowly grow stronger. Step by step, day by day, you become more capable and more confident in yourself. We also discussed that challenges are normal. Every learner faces difficulties at some point. Sometimes we feel too busy and think we don't have time to learn. Sometimes we feel afraid of making mistakes or worry that we might fail. And sometimes we think, I'm too old to start learning again. But all of these challenges can be overcome with the right mindset. Learning is not about being perfect. It's about trying, practicing, and improving a little every day. Mistakes are not failures. They are lessons that help us grow. Even when we make errors, we are still learning. Remember, learning is for everyone at every age. It's never too late to start, and it's never too early to keep going. When we face challenges with curiosity and courage, we move forward. We become stronger, wiser, and more confident. Each obstacle becomes a chance to discover something new about ourselves and the world around us. We also talked about how to practice lifelong learning in daily life. Learning does not only happen in classrooms, it can happen anywhere at any time. You can learn by listening to podcasts, watching videos, reading short articles, writing a few sentences in your journal, or simply talking to new people. You can also learn by trying new skills or hobbies, like cooking a new recipe, learning a new app, or exploring a new language. The key is to make learning a daily habit. You do not need to do something big. Small steps make a huge difference over time. Reading for a few minutes, learning one new word, or practicing a short conversation in English all help you grow. Little by little, these actions add up and create big changes. Lifelong learning means noticing opportunities, staying curious, and taking action every day. Every day gives us a new chance to grow, to learn something new, and to become better than we were yesterday. So, what is the big takeaway from today's lesson? It's simple but powerful. Keep learning. Stay open. Be curious. And always remember, you're a student for life. Life is full of lessons if we are willing to notice them. Every moment, every person, and every challenge can teach us something valuable. When we keep an open mind, we begin to see that learning is not only about improving skills, it's about growing as a person. We learn patience, kindness, creativity, and confidence through our experiences. So, embrace curiosity. Enjoy the process of learning. See every challenge as an opportunity to grow and discover something new about yourself. Learning is not a race. It's a lifelong journey that never ends, and that's what makes it so beautiful. Before we finish, I want to thank you for listening to this episode of Super English Talks. Remember, your English learning journey is also a part of lifelong learning. Each word you learn, each sentence you write, and each conversation you try is a step toward your goals. Take small daily actions, listen to a short podcast, read an article, write a few sentences, or speak with someone new. Every small step matters, and every small effort brings you closer to success. Stay curious, stay motivated, and most importantly, enjoy the journey of learning and growth. If you enjoyed this episode, keep practicing every day. Remember, you are always a student, and every day is a chance to learn something new. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of Super English Talks.